And welcome back, boys and girls. It is Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. I'm Miss Fernandez, and let's get started today. We're going to start with our social and emotional learning. This week, it is standing up for yourself. We're on week 22 of school this week. So, hello to everyone. Welcome back. We are so glad you're here. Our virtual classroom rules are the same. It's be on time, act like you're at school, sit in one spot during class, keep yourself muted, turn on your video, raise your hand to talk, listen, no eating during class, but always remember to have fun and do your best. So our learning objective today is to teach children the benefits of having a positive self-concept. So we're going to focus on feeling good about yourself. For day one, feeling good about yourself. Having a positive attitude, feeling good about yourself, the things you do, the way you do them, the important things and people in your life can make you feel confident and secure. It will help you in school and in dealing with others. A positive attitude will help you throughout your life. So, our little elephant says, I went to the beach with my herd last week. We built sandcastles together. I always have fun and feel happy when I spend time with my family. Do you feel happy when you spend time with your family? I know I do. So, think of recent experiences that made you feel good. It might be a trip, a favorite activity, time with friends, time with family, or so on. How did you feel inside? Were you happy, calm, excited, loved, peaceful? All those things make you feel happy about yourself. So, our words of affirmation today are I believe in myself. So, repeat after me I believe in myself. And every day is a fresh start. Good job. So, we're moving on to our Letterland. We're on Unit 17 today. We are going to be studying our tricky words this week with would, o'clock, and your. We have list A this week with rope, bike, 5, hope, right, home, ride, close, closing, and writing. So, like last week, we had our long A. This week, we're going to focus on long I and long O. And last week, in order for our A to have a long A sound, it had the silent E at the end. And look at our picture. The silent E has its magic wand, sprinkling the magic over to our vowel to make it a long vowel sound. So that makes the I have ice cream and make the I sound. And for O, instead of Oscar Orange, we have the old man. So he says the O sound for the O in our words. So let's do our letters, sounds, and actions.
Annie Apple says ah. Bouncy Ben says b. Clever Cat says k. Dippy Duck says d. Eddie Elephant says eh. Firefighter Fred says f. Golden Girl says g. Harry Hatman says h. Envy Ink says eh. Jumping Jim says j. Kicking King says k. Lucy Lamplight says l. Munching Mike says Noisy Nick says Oscar Orange says ah. Peter Puppy says p. Quarrelsome Queen says qu. Red Robot says r. Sammy Snake says s. Talking Tess says t. Uppy Umbrella says Vicky Violet says V. Walter Walrus says W. Fix-It Max says X. Yellow Yo-Yo Man says Y. Zigzag Zebra says Z.
And that's the end of our alphabet. So in your packet, you have your word detectives for today. It says Tuesday at the top. We're going to read our sentences today. Ready? It says Peter Puppy sniffs for a bone with his nose. So let's echo read one more time. Peter Puppy sniffs for a bone with his nose. Bouncing Ben likes riding his bike all the time. Munching Mike is poking along beside his mom on the way home. Good job. So now we're going to find our long I and long O words with the silent E at the end. So when we look at the first sentence, we have two words. We have the word bone. It has a long O. So we're going to draw our line or write our line above the O. We're going to give our E its magic wand, and then we're going to sprinkle our magic over to the O to make it long in the word bone. Our next word is nose. So we're going to write our line above our O. We're going to give our E the magic wand, and then we're going to sprinkle our magic over to the O to make it a long O. In our second sentence, we have 4 words. Our first word has a long I. It is likes. So we're going to draw a line above our I. We're going to give E a magic wand and sprinkle our magic over to our I to make it a long I. Our next word is writing. Except for it doesn't have a silent E, ing took the place of E. So the word changed from ride to writing. So we're still going to add our magic to the I. So let's give it our line to show that it's a long I and sprinkle our magic from ing over to the I. Our next word is bike. So we're going to give it a wand, draw the line above our I, and sprinkle our magic from the wand to our I to make it a long I that makes the I sound. So our last one is time. Give our E its magic wand, write our line above the I, and sprinkle our magic over from our E to I. So our last sentence has another 4 words. The first word is Mike. Let's give our I the line. Our E is magic wand. Sprinkle our magic over to the I. So it says the I in Mike. Our next one is just like writing. Poking. Poking usually would be poke with a silent E, but it is poking with ing. So we're going to draw a line above our O, circle our ing, and then sprinkle our magic from ing to O. Our next word is beside. So we're going to give our E our magic wand, draw the line above our I, and sprinkle our magic from E to I. Our last one is home. So we're going to not cross it out, but give it our magic wand and write our line above our O and sprinkle our magic from E to O to make it a long O in our word home. And that's your word detectives for today. So if you need more time to copy, click pause and give yourself more time. So we're going to move on to our reading today. Today we're going to be working in our small book. But before we do that, let's get over our weekly concept. Our weekly concept today is now and then. So once upon a time is our title for our weekly concept. And we can look at our picture and we can tell this is a picture from long ago. First, because it's black and white. Second, look at how the little girls are dressed. Do our little girls now dress like that? Look at what they're playing with. What are they playing with? A hula hoop. We do play with hula hoops now, but look how they're playing with it. Usually, when we play with hula hoops, we might put them around our waist and try to turn them with our waist, or we could put them around our arm and twirl them around with our arm. But these girls are also holding sticks, and they look to be rolling the hula hoops with those sticks. So that's definitely a game from long ago. Today, we're going to be comparing and contrasting how things were done long ago and today. So our essential question this morning is, how is life different than it was long ago? So let's watch a video on two things that were different.
Now and then. How is life different than it was long ago? How can you compare children today with children in the past? In a classroom from long ago, some things look the same. But what things are different? In today's classroom, students work with computers. Long ago, children liked to have fun and play games together. Children today like to do the same things. Outdoors or indoors, with friends or family, children like to play and have fun.
So they compared two things. Long ago, schools were different than they are now. Now we have computers. Long ago, we didn't have computers at school. Long ago, people worked with chalkboards. Now we work with computers. Then they had two things that were the same. Long ago, children liked to play, and children now still like to play. Let's move on to our vocabulary words. We have the words century, past, entertainment, future, and present. Let's start with century.
Century. My grandfather planted this old tree a century ago.
What does century mean? A century is 100 years. Our next word is
Past. In the past, there were no telephones or cars. People wrote letters and rode horses.
Can you imagine that? No cars. You rode in these buggies or wagons pulled by a horse. Past means the time that has already happened. Our next word is
entertainment. Watching movies is a popular form of entertainment.
entertainment is the things people do to have fun.
Future. In the future, you will grow up and have jobs.
The future is the time that hasn't happened yet. Our next word is
present. In the future, cars may be able to fly, but in the present, they can only drive on the road.
The present is the time that is happening right now. And that is the end of our vocabulary words. And here's an example of what school might have looked like long ago. It was just one small school with one room, and all the grades were in the same room. being taught at the same time. So today we're going to move on to our story. So our story is in our small book on page 74. The title of our story today is Life at Home. When we look at the picture, we can tell that this is a picture of a little girl long ago. She must be sitting in her kitchen area, peeling either red potatoes or apples. We couldn't decide this morning. The genre of our story is up in the left-hand corner. It is nonfiction. That means this is a true story. The information we get from the story is something that happened in real life, and it might include pictures of things in real life. Real pictures. Our essential question is, how is life different than it was long ago? So we're going to read a story about how life at home is different today than it was long ago. So let's turn the page and follow along.
Has home life changed a lot since long ago? Yes, it has. Long ago, many families cooked, worked, and slept in one room.
So one of the things that makes this story nonfiction is also that it has pictures of things that are real, but with their picture comes a box with a caption that tells us what is happening in that picture. So in this picture, it shows long ago, many families cooked, worked, and slept in one room. So we're looking at the whole family in one room doing everything, cooking, working, and playing. And at night, they would probably be sleeping. Page 77.
A long time ago, homes had just one room. People ate and slept in that same room. Today, homes can have many rooms. Today, families can live in large homes that have lots of space.
So we can already compare and contrast just in these pages, these 2 pages. So if we compare, families live in homes. If we contrast, we're telling the difference between the two. So if I tell what's different long ago, families had just one room in their house. And now families have lots of rooms in their houses. Turn the page. So let's echo read. Ready? Fingers on how. And repeat after me. How did people cook and bake long ago? At home not at home, a home. Sorry, let's start over. A home had a brick fireplace with a pole. A huge pot hung on this pole. People cooked in this big pot. Good. So you don't have to echo this one. Our caption says, long ago, there was an oven at the side of the fireplace. Bread was baked there. So beside the fireplace, it would have had an oven for bread. But here's a picture of that pole with a hook and a pot. And they would cook their meals in a huge pot hanging in the fireplace. So let's echo read on page 79. Fingers on now. Now we use a stove to cook and bake things. We still use pots, but these pots are not as big as that old pot. All right, so our caption says today stoves can use gas or electricity. Turn the page. Let's listen on this page.
Back then, kids helped out a lot. A boy helped his dad plant crops. A girl helped her mom inside the home. She made socks and caps. It takes a long time to make those things. A spinning wheel was used to spin wool into yarn.
So here's the picture of that spinning wheel where they used wool and they made yarn, and then they would make those socks and caps.
Now we shop for things such as socks and caps. We shop for things to eat as well. But kids still help out at home. Today, people buy most of the things they need and want.
So if we compare and contrast in these two pages, when we compare, we say what they have that are alike. So what's alike is kids helped out in the past and kids still help out at home now. They just don't do the same things. In the past, kids would help plant crops or make socks and caps. They would make things. Now we buy things. All right, let's follow along on page 82.
Back then, people got water from a well. Then they filled up a big tub and washed things. In the past, people washed dishes in a tub made of wood.
So here's the picture of the lady washing in a tub made of wood.
Now people can wash things in a sink. We can wash dishes in a dishwasher too. Life is not as hard today as it was long ago. Today, it's easy to wash dishes in a sink or dishwasher.
So what's the same? We wash dishes. What's different was long ago they washed them in a tub, and now we can use a sink or dishwasher. So on page 84, we compare and contrast. When you compare, you think about how things are alike. When you contrast, you think about how things are different. We can find text evidence in our story on page 77. We can find out how homes long ago and today are alike and different. When we look, a long time ago, homes had just one room. But today, homes have many rooms. And that's what we're going to be writing today. When we can compare and contrast two things, we can use a double bubble map or a Venn diagram. And we do our two ovals and they overlap each other. And that's where we write things that they both have or are alike. And then we compare things on different sides. So here's another example of that Venn diagram. And remember, when you compare, you think about how things are alike. When you contrast, you think about how things are different. So if we compare and contrast a dog and a cat, first we're going to compare and say what they are like. A dog and a cat are both pets and they're both living. But what's different is a dog likes bones and he barks, while a cat likes milk and purrs. So they both make different sounds and they both like different things to eat. So today you're going to be working on this page where we're going to compare and contrast long ago and today. Our story today was life at home. So that's what we're comparing. An example they gave us in our story, life at home. So we did it this morning. We said long ago, homes had one room. Today, homes have many rooms. And how they're alike is people live in homes. So that's your work for today. So copy our three things. Long ago, homes had one room. People live in homes. And today, homes have many rooms. And that's how we compare our story today from two examples that it gave us. And that's it for today, boys and girls. If you need more time to copy, click pause and give yourself more time to copy and complete your work. If not, that's it for today. Great job today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.